Butterfly Effect by Nikayla Sarai. Chapter 14. The Second Original Choice. Tranquil as a forest, but on fire within. Once you find your center, you are sure to win. Roman sang along with his iPod as he danced around the kitchen, gathering up the ingredients for his sandwich, moving his feet to the steps of the paso doble he'd spent the semester perfecting. Strong, confident, bold. He scooped up the jar of Crofters from the fridge and spun back to the counter where the bread and peanut butter already awaited him. Pulling open the drawer nearby, Roman grabbed a knife and lunged, fighting his imaginary opponent. "You're a spineless, pale, pathetic lot." He twisted off the lid to the jam. "And you haven't got a clue." He jabbed the knife into the jam and pulled it out, smearing the bread with a thick layer of strawberry. "Somehow I'll make a man out of you." He grinned before gasping, falling back against the cupboard with a loud bang, his voice rising into a falsetto. "I'm never going to catch my breath." He fell to his knees, dropping to a baritone. "Say goodbye to those who knew me." He ducked his head, knife held close to his chest. "Boy, was I a fool in school for cutting Jim." Roman surged to his feet, sliding the knife into the peanut butter next. Like he would cut Jim, he had to keep up appearances. "This guy's got him scared to death." Again he went into the falsetto. "Hope he doesn't see right through me." He glided over to the sink, running the butter knife under the faucet. "Now I really wish that I knew how to swim." He tossed the silverware into the dishwasher and stalked forward to the beat and picked up his sandwich, putting the two sides together. Perfection. Bang, bang, bang. Roman cut off, PB&J halfway to his mouth. Now who could that be? He glanced automatically to the clock on the microwave and frowned. "Geez, it's only 8, he complained under his breath, setting the sandwich down on the counter as he strode for the door, allowing the music to continue blasting in the background as he flung it open. "What?" he demanded to the scrawny guy standing before him. Quiet hours didn't start until 11. His unwanted visitor bared his teeth in a poor imitation of a smile as he swayed in place, reddened eyes struggling to focus on Roman. He raised an eyebrow, crossing his arms. Someone was starting their end-of-semester party a little early. "Can I help you?" He stared at Roman, head falling sideways as he stared hazily at him, taking far too long to blink behind his glasses. "Yeah?" he muttered, before nodding, straightening. "Yeah! You!" The dark-haired guy flopped one hand at Roman, using the other to shakily push his glasses back up. "Too loud! Hush up!" Roman scoffed. Who was being the loud one now? And with the dude's inability to focus his reddened eyes on him, it was clear he wasn't going to get any studying done anyways. "It's only 8, Specs. Quiet hours start at 11. Come back and complain to me after that." Not that he planned to be up for much longer. He needed his beauty sleep. Roman wanted to look his best before he went to Broadway's general auditions for their Mary Poppins musical in the morning. Specs violently shook his head, nearly falling over before he caught himself. "Can't study with your horrible rackets. Bad singing is bad for concentration." Roman stiffened. "Bad singing? I was perfectly in tune, you tone-deaf ingrate," he snapped. "I have perfect pitch. I am not tone-deaf," the guy shouted, clenching his fists as he glowered at Roman, taking a step forward. "Take that back and then be quiet," says the guy who's yelling at the top of his lungs. Roman momentarily saw stars, his face blossoming in a heat wave of agony. The nerd stepped back, shaking his hand. "Now, shut up!" Roman lifted a hand to his eye, adrenaline coursing through him. The nerd had just punched him. The tenderness around his eye told him it was going to blacken. His vision tunneled. His audition. How could he go to his audition with a black eye? Roman surged forward, his own fists flying as he socked Specs in the jaw with an uppercut that knocked the nerd off his feet, slamming him into the wall. You ruined my perfect face! He was doomed. How could he hope to be taken seriously if he came in with a black eye? They were going to think he was careless, or even violent, and pass him over without a second thought when he'd spent the last 2 weeks perfecting his audition piece so that he would stand out. The nerd struggled to his feet, glasses askew. It's hardly perfect when you have a stupid, dumb, crooked smile, he screamed right back, barreling towards Roman like an enraged bull. Roman twisted to the side, neatly avoiding the brunt of Speck's attack as he grabbed the nerd by the wrist and spun, using his momentum to pull him off his feet and send Specs flying back against the wall. He cried out as he landed, crumpling face first into one of the potted ferns the apartment complex had scattered along the hallway. That would teach him. Rest a bit, why don't you? Roman told the nerd as he stepped back into his apartment, watching him struggle to his feet. As much as he wanted to knock the guy into next year, there were better methods for dealing with this jerkwad than continuing to brawl in the hallway. You rest your stupid, crooked mouth! Roman slammed his door shut, listening to the nerd ram him into it a split second later as he twisted the deadbolt with a loud click. My mouth's not crooked, he muttered, brushing his lips before snatching his phone from the counter, raising it to his ear as he silenced his iPod. 911, what's your emergency? A woman's voice greeted him. Bang, bang, bang. Roman turned to the door as the handle rattled, his eyes dark. You're horrible! Come back out and shut up! Specs screamed through the door. Roman took a calming breath. I'd like to report a disturbance, he said evenly, as he grabbed a washcloth, running it under cold water from the sink before placing it against his aching eye. Come back out here, cowards, and I'll show you perfection with another black eye. That will even up your ignoramus face. Coward? Coward? Sir, are you all right? Who's screaming? The woman asked. Roman bit down a growl, his fingers going white on the phone as he glared daggers at the door. He wasn't a coward. You can't just sit in there! He could, and he would. The police could take it from here. He had an audition in the morning, and only a handful of hours to figure out how to hide the swelling. There's a male I've never met before, probably in his early 20s, with dark hair and glasses, currently attempting to break down my door, Roman said, as other voices sounded in the hallway. Bang. Bang. Thud. Get away from me! I'm gonna knock him out, and then study in silence. I have a final. Get off! I need to study! He wished he could knock the nerd out. Dude was getting annoying. I'm pretty sure he's tripping and intends to do physical harm. Could you send someone to pick him up? He asked, pressing the washcloth more firmly against his eye as he gave his location to the woman. The nerd would find his quiet, he was sure, though he'd love to see him try and study in jail. Good luck, Specs, Roman muttered, hanging up with dispatch, heading to his room for his laptop so he could look up makeup tips for disguising bruises. I doubt you'll make it to that final after this.